Hello, my name is Johan van Paris, and I'm the Director of Liturgy and the Sacred Arts at the Basilica of St. Mary in Minneapolis. As such, it is my pleasure to welcome Tyler Andreae, who is the Associate Director of Liturgy at the Basilica of St. Mary. Welcome, Tyler.
Thank you, Dr. Johan.
So people have seen you walk around, and they're probably wondering, who is this fellow? So would you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Absolutely. So I'm a native of Wisconsin. I grew up in a small town in north central Wisconsin to a family of four, my mother, my father, and my brother. Growing up in a small town, just certain values that were really instilled in me from a young age were definitely community, working hard. My parents own a grocery store business, so hard work was definitely instilled too from a young age, and just the importance of family and faith growing up. In 2018, I had the opportunity to manage one of my parents' grocery stores for 2 years, and that kind of kicked off my professional life as a manager. And during that 2 years, I'm so grateful for the experiences that I gained during that time. But then the pandemic happened, and that just kind of naturally seemed to be a time to maybe try new things, or where people were kind of reimagining things. And that was the time when I really reimagined kind of what my future in life could look like. And I decided that if I maybe didn't go and pursue schooling at that time in college, that I probably wouldn't have. I probably just would have remained complacent and stayed in the grocery store business for life. So I realized, let me just at least go and try this out. So it was in 2020 then, I moved to Eau Claire, Wisconsin to study music there. And as you know, that's when I jumped in right away full-time, as well as a director of liturgy for a parish there.
Now you mentioned you studied music. What did you study?
Sure. So I studied vocal performance for 2 years, and then for one of the years while I was there, I did actually piano performance as well. So growing up, I was a piano player, and I was, the organist as well. Piano and organ, I took both of them on at about age 12.
Oh, wow.
And from about age 13 and on, I was the organist at my local Lutheran church up until the age of 18. So music was always really important to me as well. So that's what made me choose music as well, going back to the schooling.
Oh, that's
so.
music to my ears.
Yeah.
So you mentioned that you played in a Lutheran church. So you grew up Lutheran?
Correct. Yep. So I grew up raised Lutheran with my family, and I went on a trip to Europe in 2017. I had that opportunity to go and to go to France and Germany, Switzerland, Italy, England, several countries with a global connections opportunity in our school. And during that time, of course, as you do in Europe, you see a lot of churches.
Yes, you do.
A lot of churches. And I just remember going into each one, and several times, it would almost be, kind of felt like, at the Basilica here, Mass would be going on, sneaking through the back, But, Mass would be going on in so many of these churches, and I would recognize so many symbols and signs that were connecting from each of these places. And I thought there had to be something to that, right? Yeah. So, I got home from this trip. This was 2017, and that's when I began to really explore the Catholic Church and the Catholic faith. And I did my Christian initiation, conversion in 2018.
Oh, wow. And then you left your beloved Wisconsin and made it to the big city. What drew you to Minneapolis, St. Paul?
Absolutely. Honestly, just the art and music scene here. As you know, we just have so many incredible local artists, local musicians, local bands here. And just to be a part of that scene was really just what drew me over.
All right. And what did you do?
So when I first got to the Twin Cities here, I've always lived in Minneapolis, but my first position was at the Church of St. Paul in Ham Lake. So I served there most recently for 2 years as Director of Liturgy and Music.
How would you describe that position?
Sure. So there we had over 200 volunteers, so very strong volunteer base, but overseeing and planning, executing all of our weekend liturgies, overseeing the environment, and then as well, of course, all of our initiatives in sacred music and developing the teams on the music ministry.
Do you see any parallels between your work in Ham Lake and here?
I do, absolutely. Just in the strong volunteer base that we have supporting our weekends. Of course, the need to always be developing, right, and growing the teams as well. But just coming into a team of strong volunteers is definitely a parallel. And also, the Church of St. Paul in Ham Lake really did do a good job of incorporating sacred arts into their worship. So that's beautiful to see, obviously, on a much larger scale here. But to have that element still incorporated is so great.
Great. So you love the liturgy. What do you think why is liturgy so important to Catholics?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, as you know, the liturgy, the church teaches us that it's the summit to which all things go towards, and then it's the source of which all things flow from. So I would just say, it's really, as Catholics, it's our unifying point. It's really just that. It's our heartbeat. It's the life of our parish. It's where we all come together. We hear that same message. We get nourished by the Word of God. We receive Jesus. But then as well, we're transformed, we're renewed, and we're sent out to go and to make God's love known to everyone.
Beautiful. Now you've been here. This is going to be your third weekend.
Yes.
Do you have any dreams and hopes for the future?
Well, as I was mentioning, I would love, of course, just to continue on with you and the whole team of this continuing our beautiful, rich liturgies with just great reverence and devotion to that, but also as well, just never staying, as I was saying, never really getting complacent with things either. Recognizing that surely, the teachings of the church maybe don't often change as much, but that the people that we minister and serve to each day are always changing. So again, just not becoming complacent and always recognizing how we might be able to reach out to those people to introduce Jesus to them, and then really to invite them into our community here at the Basilica.
Great. Now, this is a big job, so you'll spend lots of time at the Basilica of St. Mary.
Of course.
But when you're not here, what do you like to do?
Yeah, when I'm off, I definitely enjoy, especially in the summer months, taking my bike and my electric scooter out and about, enjoying the lakes around the city. And I'm only here for 2 years now. This is my second year in the Twin Cities. So still so many new restaurants and places to explore.
Yeah.
But I love just building community, spending time with my friends. And as well, this is the first time that music has not been in my job title. So I've been able to make music a hobby again. And I've been able to go back and just play piano for fun, just sing for fun and enjoy that.
Beautiful. Now I understand you have some kittens?
I sure do. I have some little Siamese boys, that is correct. And that has been going very well. I recently introduced a new little boy, as you know.
Yes.
So that's been going well as well. But
great. Good company.
Yes, that is right.
Do you have any last words for us?
Just that I really look forward to serving here at the Basilica, that it's already been just such a great welcoming place to be. I love working with the staff, the entire community, and all of the parishioners here have just been so lovely. So I'm really looking forward to serving with each of them and what lies ahead here.
Wonderful. Well, we are very glad you're here as well. At multos annos, as they say. Thank you, Tyler.
It's good to be here, Johan.